Hi guys, I'm Carly and welcome to Belle's Books. Today I'm going to be going through my TBR for the N.E.W.T.S reading challenge in August. So if you don't know about it, this is a Harry Potter themed readathon run by Book Roast. I will link her channel and the announcement video down below in the description box so you can check it out. There are several wizarding careers that you can choose from, and each one has requirements, so you have to look at the subjects that you need to get to fulfill those wizarding careers. So I looked through the booklet and I chose Librarian as my wizarding career because in other life news I have recently got a new part-time job as a library assistant. So I'm going to be working on Saturdays and Sundays in my local library, which is very exciting. So I thought I would carry on the theme for my readathon, and I'm going to be working towards the librarian career, which means I need an outstanding in ancient runes, exceeds expectations in defense against the dark arts, and exceeds expectations in history of magic. Now, what does this mean? This means, so for ancient runes, I need to read a book which is recommended by a friend, and for that I have The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. This has been recommended by my very good friend Holly. She loved this book and I've been meaning to read it for a while, so this is the one I have chosen for that. This is about a house at Angelfield House, and it's the home of the March family. I don't know much else about this other than that it's to do with their family. So we've got Isabel, Charlie and twins. Anything to do with twins is always creepy and I like it. Oh, and there's a secret to do with this house. So it all sounds good to me. Jean's been talking about it on her channel recently. So yeah, I really want to check this one out. So I'm excited to get to this. Chuck that on the floor. Next, for ancient runes, I need to read a book written in the past tense. So I am going for The Loving Spirit by Daphne du Maurier. Now, I love Daphne du Maurier. She's one of my favourite authors. I've read quite a few of her books, but I haven't read this one. And summer is the time when I like to read Daphne du Maurier because I usually go to Cornwall on holiday every year. And this year, because I've got no money, I can't go on holiday. So I am going to read this because it's set in Cornwall and it will make me feel like I'm there because I know it so well. So this is it's a family saga. So it starts off in the 1900s in Cornwall, and it follows like the family, or the Combe family. So Janet Combe it starts with, and she has, it's called The Loving Spirit because she is a very excitable young lady and she wants to go off on swashbuckling adventures on the seas, but because she's a woman she's got to get married and have babies, isn't she? So that's what she does. She settles down, has a baby, but her loving spirit gets passed on through the generations of her family, and it traces the generations of her family and like their ups and downs and stuff. So pretty old school. I love a family saga. This is a bit of a beefy boy though. It's like 400 pages. Ooh, but yeah, I really want to read a du Maurier this summer, so that is next on my list. Now, book that has been on my TBR for ages, I'm going for The Waves by Virginia Woolf. I started this ages ago, never finished it. This is one of Virginia Woolf's most well-known novels. It traces the lives of, I think it's 5 friends, so from their childhood growing up into middle age. So it kind of charts this group of people, but this book is very important, and I'm also using it for my PhD research because of the way it's written. So again, I think she uses stream of consciousness. The language is very poetic and she goes inside the minds of the characters, so it's very internal. You follow their thoughts and their kind of unfolding thinking processes. So it's not a straightforward narrative. I remember when I started reading it ages ago, I was like, ooh, this is a little bit difficult. But I'm going to finish it. It's not that big. So yeah, really want to get to this summer. Also because it's the waves. It's set. I think it's set around the sea, and I'm missing being by the sea this summer. So want to read this. Next, so that's Ancient Runes. Then I need, wait for it, Defense Against the Dark Arts. I need to read a book which is black under the dust jacket. So I've picked The Night Brother by my girl Rosie Garland, because black under the dust jacket, isn't it? Wow, wee wows. There you go. So I talked about this recently in my books that have been on my TBR for ages. So I'm excited that I can pick this for this challenge. This is about Edie and Gnome, two siblings. And Gnome goes off and has adventures in the nighttime, and Edie is awake in the daytime. But obviously there's more going on. Sounds a bit ethereal, a bit magical, and a bit gothic. So yeah, really pleased that I can get to this for this challenge. So that is Black Under the Dust Jacket. The next prompt for Defense Against the Dark Arts was Gilderoy Lockhart's Memory Charm. So what is a book you've just remembered from your TBR? And because I've just been doing my summer TBR, it was Swimming Home by Deborah Levy. And I really want to get to this in summer, like I said in my last video. So yes, I'm going to pick this for my book I've just remembered from my TBR. And this isn't very long, so hopefully I can read this quickly. Next, I need History of Magic. So I have to read a fantasy and a book that includes a map. So for my fantasy book, I have picked Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor, which is one that I hauled just recently. If I can remember what this is about. It's set in two worlds, in Prague and in a fantasy world. So it is about this girl whose name I can't remember. What is her name? Carew. Took me ages to see that. So she has to balance her life between the real world and this fantasy world. And something is going down in the fantasy world, and she's got to choose where to be and where to go. I don't know if it's got monsters or whatever, but it sounds very exciting. I like the sound of it anyway. So this one I'm very excited to get to. These are big books though. I don't know if I'm going to make this, because like, look, that's like, wait, what is it? Oh, there's a lot of stuff at the back. 400 pages. I mean, these are all big. I don't know why I've chosen all these big books, but I found it difficult to get books that fit the prompts that I actually wanted to read, and they all turned out to be big ones. Lastly, book that includes a map. I have got The Familiars by Stacy Halls. Again, this is one that I've been wanting to read for ages. This, I think, is about the witch trials in... is it the Pendle Witch Trials? It's set in Lancashire in the 17th century, and it is about 17-year-old Fleetwood Shuttleworth. What a great name. Fleetwood Shuttleworth. She's married and pregnant for the fourth time at 17. Goodness. But the mistress of Galthorpe Hall still has no living child, and her husband Richard is anxious for an heir. When Fleetwood finds a letter she isn't supposed to read from the doctor who delivered her third stillbirth, she is dealt the crushing blow that she will not survive another pregnancy. Then they concoct some kind of plan together. Ooh, wonder what that could be. So, Pendle Witch Trials. I love anything to do with witchcraft and the witch trials. And look, the map. Ooh, what a lovely little map of Lancaster and surrounding areas. So yes, and look at the beautiful blue edges. Very pretty book. So that is the final one on my list. If I can get all of those in theory, then I would have met the challenge to become a librarian. Although I didn't do the owls, so the first part of this reading challenge I think is in April. The owls, which I didn't participate in, so I'm just going to see what I can get read in August. And as it's summer, I've kind of chosen all the books that I really want to read and I've wanted to read for a long time but haven't got around to. So yeah, just going to get through as many as I can, and it all sounds very exciting. I love taking part in readathons, and hopefully I'll be vlogging a little bit as well during August. So that is my TBR for the N.E.W.T.S. Talk to me in the comments below. Tell me what you're reading if you're doing the N.E.W.T.S reading challenge, and have you read any of these books? Talk to me and tell me if you like them and anything else you want to talk to me about. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.